All right, guys. So we just finished case one, and we're going to start with case two, or move on to case two, I should say. And the first thing we're going to do is change the name of the company to case two, student's name. Save. Exit that. And case two says, now add some investing and financing activities to your company. Based on what you've learned in the text and using the sample company, you are to add the following transactions to your company. Number one, create 3 new fixed asset accounts. Category type, fixed asset, detail type, furniture and fixtures and equipment, accumulated depreciation, original cost, and accumulated depreciation as sub-accounts. So we've done this 1,000 times. We're going to accounting, chart of accounts, new, fixed asset account, furniture and fixtures. And this is going to be for case two. I don't know if there is one for case two, but I'm going to hedge my bet, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in here. Because at this point in time, they're all getting mixed up for me. Original cost and depreciation, and there's no amounts for that yet. I just make sure that I have the option to put both of these in there. So I have to select this to get the option of doing it. I don't have to put it in now, but if I want it in the future, I definitely have to have it in there. I'm going to click Save and Close, and it saves my furniture and fixtures case 2. All right, so that's number 1. Moving on to number 2, it says create a new asset account with a category of other assets, detail type, other long-term assets, and name investments, which is what we did for case 1. We're just going to do this for case 2. So account type is going to be other assets. Should say other long, and this is going to be other long-term assets. Excuse me. So other assets, other long-term assets, and it's going to be investments, case 2. No balance. Save and close. 3 says record the purchase of new furniture on 1/11 from Staples. Check number 1003, amount 2250, account furniture original cost. So to do this, I'm using a check. So I'm going to go to create check. 1/11/19 is the date. Change that first. 1/11/19 is the date. Checking account. It's not 3, it is 2. And my payee is Staples. So I'm looking for Staples. Now I have Staples and Staples Inc. It just says Staples. And I wonder if Staples and Staples Inc., which one's 2 and which one's 3? Which one's 2 and which one's 3? I'm going to say Staples is 2 and Staples Incorporated is 3. But we'll be able to check that soon enough. If not, I'll go back in and change it. Do you want to pre-fill the check and overwrite your entries using values from the contact's last check? No, we don't. We don't want to use what was from the last check. We're going to create a new one. So it says in here that check number 1003, we got check number 1003, the amount of $2,250, furniture original cost. Account, drop down menu. We're going to look for furnitures and fixtures. Right here's furniture and fixtures, case 2. So furniture and fixtures, this is case 1, this is case 2. This is the one we just created. Original cost, amount 2250, and we are good. Staples is our vendor. Account is going to is furniture and fixtures. Original cost, $22.50 is the amount. We should be able to save. Number 4 says record a new long-term investment on 1/11. To Raymond James, a new vendor. Check number 1004 for $3,200. So if I'm going to make a new investment, I'm going to go to add new. It says new vendor, and it is Raymond James. It is a vendor selected already. Payment date did not change, 1/11/19. Check number 1004 is right. $3,200 is the amount. And the account is investments. Should be investment 2. Scrolling down looking for it. There's investments and investments 2. All right. Should be able to save and new. Saved and new. 5 says record the sale of common stock on 1/14/19 to shareholders. A new vendor. Deposit amount of $25,000. Account common stock. So shareholders is not a new vendor because we've created that in the past. So does it want us to create a shareholders 2? Or does it or what? And because the book last time did not create new shareholders, you can make your decision. We're not going to create a new shareholder account because it's just getting ridiculous. Everything's having 2 accounts. We are going to go to create bank deposit, or excuse me, sale of common stock. And we received the funds for it. The best thing for us to do is a deposit for this because this is where we have this little thing down here for. It's going to be in checking account 2, not checking account 1. Is it going to be on the 11th? Nope, it's going to be on the 14th. So we're going to change this to the 14th. And we are going to receive funds from shareholders, a new vendor. If I click here, I know I have shareholders on here already. Shareholders right there. I'm not going to create a second one. That's just going to be too much. I'm using the one we already have. Oh. And the account is going to be common stock. Scrolling down, looking for common stock. Common stock case 2, there it is. The amount is going to be $25,000. All right, so we got $25,000 here, going to checking account 2 on the 14th for the sale of common stock received from shareholders. And I'm going to save a new. Bank deposit done. Number 6 says record the payment of dividends to shareholders on 1/15/19. Check number 1005 in the amount of $800. So the fact that it tells me that it was a check number tells me that I'm writing a check. The payee is going to be to shareholders, which is a vendor. Shareholders right there. Checking account 2 is the one I want. The payment date is 1/15/19. Check number is 1005. Yes, it is. Now, that doesn't necessarily need to be the right check number. I mean, it depends on how many checking accounts you created, if you'll have that checking number available or not. The dividends to shareholders. So the account is going to be retained earnings. That's where it wants us to take out dividends from. And the amount is not 500, it is 800. And 500 is just there because that's what we were to check out last time to this vendor for. So retained earnings, $800. Check number 1005, paid on the 15th. To shareholders from checking account 2. We should be able to save a new. 7 says record the deposit of funds from a new notes payable signed on 1/16/19 with Bank of TJ, a new vendor, in the amount of $25,000. Another $25,000. Keep going never too far. Another $25,000 deposit. So bank deposit, checking account 2. The date is the 16th. Bank deposit received from a new vendor, TJ, Bank of TJ. Drop down menu, add new, Bank of TJ. It is a vendor. Make sure you select the right one there. Save. Account number. It's going to be notes payable. But it's going to be notes payable 2. So in case 1, it told us to create a new notes payable. In this one, it doesn't say a new notes payable, it just says a new vendor. Well, it does say from a new notes payable. So you have two options. You can use either notes payable 2, which you know to be for case 2 and already has a balance, or you can create a notes payable case 2-1 if you wanted to. Because these are all getting added up anyways into our in our balance sheet or our trial balance and in our transaction detail by account, and we've already had a ton of practice creating new accounts, I'm going to use the one that's already there. Oh, I just hit it. And the amount is going to be $25,000. All right. So you can see, if you don't watch these videos and you don't know if you should create a new account or not, how hard it would be. It's just a guess if you didn't watch the videos. Now, if you watch the videos and you do it exactly like I do, well, then it's going to be simple as far as you don't have to question yourself. And whenever it goes to grading, yours is going to look exactly like mine, and they'll get graded faster. But just because I did it this way doesn't mean you definitely have to do it this way for it to still be right. It just has to be in a notes payable. That's distinguished between case 1, case 2, and case 3. If you've already distinguished between case 1, case 2, and case 3. Otherwise, you'll have a balance for case 1 in case 2, and you don't want that unless you're using case 1, 2, and 3 is the same one. So $25,000 on the 16th, deposited into checking account 2. We're good to save and new. That was number 7. Number 8 says, record a payment to Community Bank, a new vendor, to retire an existing notes payable for $12,000 on 1/16. Payment. New vendor with interest. This is going to be a check. So I'm going to do create, check. My vendor is going to be a new one. It says Community Bank. Add new. Community Bank, it's a vendor. Save. Account. Notes payable 2. Keep scrolling, keep scrolling. Notes payable 2, case 2. The amount is $12,000. So you can see now that if you did not have your notes payable case 2 as a liability on your trial balance before you did this, you would never be able to do this. And if you did try it, you would have a negative account balance for notes payable, which would be equally wrong. Again, check number 1006 for 1/16. The date's right. $12,000. Notes payable 2. Good to save and new. All right, number 9 says, record the purchase of additional furniture from Staples on 1/17/19 in exchange for notes payable. So we're going to do this in the journal. Probably the best place to do it. Create journal entry. Date is 1/16 and it should be 1/17. Click on it. 17. 1/17. Good to go. First account is going to be furniture and fixtures for case 2. So I'm going to scroll down until I find furniture and fixtures case 2, original cost. All right? It's going to be debited because it's going to increase $26.25. And then our second account is going to be our notes payable. So I'm going to do notes payable account 2. Hold on one second, got a phone call. This is Shane. Yes, it did. Is it down there? All right, I'll be right there. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to select, where was I? Sorry, notes payable. And this is going to be notes payable 2. So I'm going to scroll down until I find notes payable case 2. Because I'm decided to throw them all in there instead of creating a 2-1 or a 2-2. Technically, this would be a new notes payable, so I'd have to do 2-2. But I'm putting it in case, just in this case 2 notes payable. And those are balanced. Journal item transaction 10, doesn't really matter what number it is. The date matters, and the amounts are balanced, so I can click save. All right, so from there, number 10 says open your previously customized report, which all the instructions from there clear to the end. To 19 is garbage because we do our own reports because the reports don't make sense. So we're going to go to reports. First one we're going to do is trial balance case 2. And we're going to export to PDF. Looks good to me. Save PDF. And bone it up for you so you can see what it is. All right. Again, I didn't change this to case 2 because I saved the report whenever I was doing case 3. I'll go back in and do that before I save for me. But that should say case 2 up here at the top. We have our checking account balances, checking 1 and checking 2 because trial balance is going to have a end date. That's going to include 2 of them. And when we do case 3, it'll have 3 of them on here. But these are all the balances you should have. Feel free to pause the video if you need to look at it even further. And then we can exit this. Go back to our report list. Transaction detail by account for case 2. And export to PDF. Save that PDF. Portrait view always makes things easy. Again, this will say case 2 for you. You need to go in there and change it before you click the save button. And this is what you should have. So pause the video where you need to. All right, guys. So that is case 2 for week 6. I'll upload that right now. And any questions, you see that I did anything wrong, don't hesitate to holler at me and tell me. I'd love to get that fixed. All right, guys. Have a good one.